Shalom, Efrat Yahlomit Bear Woman. Hi, how are you? My name is Efrat Yahlomit Bear Woman, and I'm here with you today, a seamstress and a healer. I'm here again with you today to share an idea with you, which I recently received. Pretty spiritual idea, but keep an open mind and listen, and hopefully something good will come out of this. So as you might know, those who already seen me or heard me, I have been through an experience that when I went to Yellowstone in 2020 during the pandemic at August, which is about this time of year now, and I went to like a voyage which took a lot of courage of me to do. I was terrified, I was scared. Nonetheless, I really wanted to go, and so I gathered information and I gathered all my as much bravery as I could, and rented a car and drove from California, where I'm at San Francisco Bay Area, all the way to Wyoming, to Yellowstone. And the whole time I felt that I'm going to meet a bear, and I've been looking for the bear but haven't seen one, although other people have told me, hey, yeah, yesterday a bear crossed the road, and I went by people looking with binoculars, and up there on the mountain, see that there's a bear with a cub right there, take a look. And I'm there, looking with my binoculars, and I don't see a bear or a cub. I've seen lots of other animals. Yellowstone is amazing, really amazing park. Anyway, I realized that I'm pretty scared to run into a live bear. And so I asked the universe to meet a bear which isn't dangerous. And then I still didn't see a bear, so I thought, okay, well, maybe next time, and I kind of let it go. And then when I was on my way back to California, going through the Sierra Nevada hills, mountains, from Nevada to California, at that point I thought, well, there are bears here too, they're maybe not grizzly, they're black bears, but still, although I didn't expect to see a bear right where on the highway and in the rest area near there, but I stopped at the rest area to have my lunch, use the bathroom, and there it was, my bear. I have met this bear. It is made of my birthstone, amethyst, and it is for courage and healing. I've been doing healing for 30 years now, but I have been kind of struggling with not enough courage, not enough self-esteem over the years, and things happening, and not feeling I am, where I deserve to be. And this young Navajo lady was there, and she just picked it up, and with a stick, because it was COVID, we had to, keep our distance, like a broomstick away. She picked it up and she said, this is, the birthstone for February. It is a shape of a bear. It's for healing and courage. And sure enough, this was my bear that I've been looking for and needed to meet, and when I put it on in the car, I had a vision of myself as an elder woman, Indian American woman, by her teepee outside on a nice day in the grass plains, a healer. I knew she was a healing woman. She was at the time, doing her daily chores like cooking and sewing, just like I do now. However, she was a healer. Everybody knew she was a healer, and she did not need a fancy, clinic or anything like that. But she had the respect and she had the knowledge, and everybody knew who she was. And as I saw that, an understanding came to my mind that my last name from my previous marriage is Berman. Berman, a nice Jewish name, means bear man. And I thought, wow, this is amazing, it's bear man, but wait a second, I'm not a man, I'm a woman. And so I received the name Bear Woman, and I felt like I was getting a Medal of Honor for my courage to go out of my regular day routine, take the time, go on a quest, go on this voyage, and meet my bear. And this bear has been with me since, and things are really amazing. Things are happening. So one thing that happened is that the spirit of the bear started showing up and guiding me. And I started asking, talking to the bear, asking for, a name. Are you a boy or a girl, male or female, and so on? Where do you live? And so I have a picture of my bear, and he's just amazing. But the bear showed me where he was living. It's a male bear. He was living in an area where a lot of woods and a creek running water, like a forest type of, like a Northern America type of a forest. And I've watched him there for a while, but then he started walking out of the woods into the plains, and I followed him. He kept looking back like this, like to say, hey, are you following me? And I've been following, and it took a few weeks, and the bear kept walking into an area of plain and grassy area until it reached this area where I have seen myself as the healer. So I'm thinking around, with the Lakota, maybe South Dakota area, or somewhere in that area where there are grassy plains, and they use the teepee to live in, and all that. I do feel since then that I need to just walk all over, meaning that I shouldn't be sitting still in one spot, but going on a voyage, going everywhere, and that I need to keep healing. But at this point of time, there's a great need of healing for the earth and the animals. And so I use Reiki healing. It's a healing energy, that comes from a divine source, the source, whatever name you like to call it. And I've been feeling more and more connection to the earth, and I started noticing that people have lost their connection to the earth, which is why they get sick. At the same time, we are creating a situation where the earth is getting sick as well. And when the earth is getting sick, we are even getting sicker and sicker. And so I am now here to educate people and to help them ground themselves and get back the connection to the earth, and at the same time the connection to what's above, the spiritual, the heavens, if you like. And the heart is the center of all, which is, we combine heaven and earth. It comes to the center in our heart, and our heart has love. Now, what we lack understanding is not just our connection to the earth, but our connection to each other, meaning we are all basically one being. The energy of life is called Chi in Chinese, Ki in Japanese, Prana in India. It has many names. Each culture, each country has different words for it, but it's nonetheless the same one that's flowing through all of us. So we all connected to one another with this same energy of life. And the healing energy is healing all of us, regardless of who we are, where we are, how old we are, whether we're male or female, whether we're children or older people, whether we speak one language or another, where do we live, our skin color, our language, it does not matter. We all one. And so, first of all, the notion of the American Indians, tribes of not having boundaries, because the earth belongs to everybody, and so we can roam any place, anywhere, and take what we need, but no more, and give back. Use everything, so there's no waste. And so we don't leave all this waste like we do right now in the modern world. We make way too much, more than what we need. We buy stuff and we keep it in our homes, and we stock things, and then we throw things away, and we have waste accumulating everywhere, and to the point that we're poisoning the earth, and poisoning the air, the water, the ground, poisoning our food sources, and the air we breathe, and so on. So as the earth is getting sicker, so are we. Now, the understanding that came to me just the other day, which amazed me, is that we are used to think of the earth as things, as dirt, as soil. They are rocks. They're things. But in the energy world, everything is energy. It's just some energy is more dense and vibrates slower or lower, versus other things that vibrate faster or higher, on a higher note, and can move, or what we call living things. So what I would like to suggest to you is that the earth is not a thing, it's a living thing, because the earth has a breath. The earth is alive, even though we, being so small and so fast, cannot see how the earth is breathing and how the earth is alive. Nonetheless, with our short lives, it's hard for us to see that, but this is what is happening. And the older people and the indigenous people and the people, early in the Bible times, they knew that. They had a good connection. And so at some point, we were told that there's one God, and that this God is somewhere maybe above us and out of us, and that this is not, we are not God, definitely. And so there was we are no longer connected. Now, in order to connect and reconnect, we have to go on a spiritual voyage. We have to work on ourselves spiritually to gain that connection, because we are in fact all energy, and we are in fact what we might call God, meaning we create, we possess the ability to create our lives, and we possess the ability to influence not just us, but our whole surrounding, and of course the earth on which we are standing. Now, you all know that, hopefully, that around us and inside of us there are microorganisms, lots and lots of them, millions and trillions and billions and whatever of them. As scientists are discovering more and more, a lot of them live inside our gut. Some of them live on our skin or in our skin, in our eyes, in our hair follicles, and so on and so on. And they live with us symbiotically, meaning when we eat nutritious food, we bring it into our body. Those microorganisms inside our gut are eating our food, so we feed them. And when we feed them, they are happy, and then they give us back other things that we need, that we cannot get otherwise, for our body to function correctly and to be healthy and happy. However, sometimes, first of all, we started eating what I want to call garbage food, meaning non-nutritious food, and a lot of it, and that food actually is feeding a different kind of microorganisms, not the ones that we like, but the ones that aren't so good for us, and they create disease and they create inflammation in our body. And our body is having trouble getting rid of all of that and all the toxins and inflammations and so on. And from all that, we become sick with all kinds of autoimmune diseases. There's a whole range of them. It's only one disease. We just call it different names if it's in the eye, in the hand, in the heart, in the stomach. But it's all one disease, because we are all one body and we are all one system. And so there are other diseases, like sometimes there are small cells in our body that starts growing like crazy, and they're using up resources only for themselves and growing rapidly, while pretty much killing every other cell around them. Kind of like corporations doing these days in somewhat way. When we're overusing things, and in order to be rich with money, which is basically nothing, because we can't eat it, We can't wear it, we can't breathe it, we can't drink it. It's not even a piece of paper or a piece of gold anymore. It's numbers in a computer, in some virtual world that somebody can erase or not easily. And for some reason we think of these numbers as something that makes us rich, which is not the case, because a lot of people who have a lot of these numbers don't have a connection to the spiritual world, and so they feel empty, and they get sick, and they're sad, and they're sick emotionally, they're sick physically, because they don't have the connection to the land. Now imagine when those cells in our body starts acting in that way, we call it cancer. And then what do? We get rid of them. We try to kill them in any way we can and take them out and remove them from our body, right? And when other microorganisms attack us in some way, for example, bacteria, our body raises its temperature, and it just gets too hot for them to live, and they die. And sometimes it gets so hot that even our other cells and bacteria may die too. So if you think about it, the earth is now starting to heat up. The earth is warming up after millions of years that it hasn't, and that's because of us. So are we a disease to the earth, that the earth is warming up in order to get rid of us? Are we some horrible bacteria that's killing the earth, and the earth is now getting warm in order to kill us, so we'll stop killing it? Are we like a fungus? You know how we have fungus on our skin sometimes, and it's so itchy and it becomes red, and we scratch, and our skin might break. Are we like bacteria on the skin of the earth, and the earth is now washing it with water? Some areas break open, like those big holes that all of a sudden break open. The volcanoes erupt. It's like when we have a zit, and in there's stuff that the body needs to get rid of, and then it comes out, and sometimes if you squeeze it, it goes like a volcano, right? So what do you think? Do you think the earth is alive? Do you think we are the cancer that the earth needs to get rid of right now? Do you think we can perhaps learn how to live again in symbiosis with the earth? Do you think we can stop acting like crazy, like cancer, and reduce the amount of pollution, reduce the amount of waste, reduce the amount of using resources, and start giving back to the earth? If you think that I might be right, if you want to hear more, if you want to connect back to your spiritualism, if you want to connect to the ground yourself, if you want to connect heaven and earth again and become one again with everyone, because everyone in the world, even though we think of ourselves as different nations, we are just one, all of us, and we have one earth to live on. The earth doesn't care if it kills, people on this side of the globe or that side of the globe for that matter. The earth is breathing, the lungs of the earth are the trees, the Amazon river and area. And what are we doing there? Our cancer is killing our breathing lungs of the earth. So can you really blame the earth for doing what it can to try to get rid of us, shake itself from us, wash us away, kill us in some, storms and volcanoes and water and whatnot? We are doing this to ourselves, and it takes every one of us, each one of us needs to know that the earth is alive. It's a living being, and we need to think about it that way and give it respect, the respect that it needs, because it is nurturing us and it's giving us life, but it can get rid of us and give us death just as well if we don't take good care of it. So please remember the microorganisms inside ourselves to feel good and to be healthy. And remember that the earth is thinking that way about us. And so say thank you to the earth and join me in sending healing to the earth. I have started doing some Reiki treatments together via Zoom. Right now I do it in Israel in Hebrew, but I will probably start doing that in English as well, and in the United States, and wherever people want to practice, and people who do not know Reiki and would like to learn. I am working on some classes that I can do online, so wherever you are in the world, you'll be able to get those and start practicing for healing yourself and others, like living creatures, plants, and of course the earth. Thank you. My name is Efratia Halomit Bear Woman. If you like what I say, my videos, please like, subscribe, share with others. If you think this is important enough, please share with others, with your friends, family. Please join me in healing the earth, and please donate to any organization that is helping to save the earth globally. Thank you very much, and you all have a wonderful, healthy, happy lives.